In the previous class, we have discussed about block diagram of op-amp, isn't it? So, how many blocks does the op-amp consist of? So, it consists of 4 blocks, right? So, what are those 4 blocks? What are those 4 blocks? Anybody? Anybody can answer?
Input stage, intermediate stage, level shifting stage, output stage.
So, what is input stage consists of? What does the input stage consists of? Input stage means input side. So in the figure you can see that here I don't have the figure, but previously if you look at the figure there you can see in the input stage you're having 2 inputs, right? And the requirements of your input stage is that it should have high input impedance, right? Its output impedance should be low and its gain should be high, right? So all these are the requirements of your input stage, isn't it? So generally these requirements are reached by dual input balanced output differential amplifier, isn't it? So your output is also double-ended. You have 2 inputs. So far in the input stage, you will be having dual input balanced output differential amplifier in order to uh, reach the requirements like high input impedance, high output gain, low output impedance, etc. And it was followed by intermediate stage, isn't it? So why intermediate stage is, if you look at the figure, in the intermediate stage your input is double dual input, your output is single ended. So we can say there we were using dual input single ended or unbalanced output differential amplifier, right? Why intermediate stage we were using is, we were using intermediate stage for much more for getting more gain, more voltage gain, which was already obtained at the first stage. Your intermediate stage have been increasing whatever the voltage gain that is obtained at the input stage. Okay, so for further increase in the voltage gain, we were using intermediate stage. So in the intermediate stage we were using dual input unbalanced output or single-ended output differential amplifier. Coming to the third stage, we have level shifting stage or level translator stage we call. So as I have told you that your op amp is direct coupled amplifier, so there will be no capacitors are used as cascading elements, coupling elements while you are connecting different stages of different stages, right? So here what happens is, and also one more thing is that your op amp will accept DC signals along with the AC signals. So as this is a direct coupled amplifier, there will be some small amount of DC percent voltage will be present, which will be carried on to stage by stage along with the AC voltage. So we need, if that carries along to the output stage, it will lead to the error, isn't it? So in order to reduce the error, in order to eliminate that error, we have to shift that non-zero value of DC voltage to 0. So that is the purpose of using level shifting stage. So at this stage, where whatever DC element have been present, that will be nullified to ground potential, that is be brought down to ground potential. So that was done by level shifting stage. So in the level shifting stage, you will be having emitter follower. That is nothing but, yes, emitter follower means what configuration, CB, CE or CC? Yes. What is the configuration? Emitter follower configuration. Very good. CC number 78. Very good. So common collector configuration, right? So in the level shifting stage, we'll be using emitter follower, and finally the last stage is output stage. So the requirements of the output is we need to have a high output voltage swing, low output impedance, high voltage gain, isn't it? Sinking and high sinking and sourcing current capabilities, etc. So all these requirements were reached by push-pull amplifier. So at the output stage, we'll be using push-pull amplifier. So this is the brief description about block diagram of op-amp. So far we know that input and intermediate stages we have already discussed. Both are nothing but differential amplifiers, right? And combination of both is nothing but cascaded amplifier, which we have already discussed in the first unit. Coming to the third block, that is level shifting stage, is nothing but emitter follower. You already know it. So we'll just see in briefly what are the circuits we are going to, what is the circuit configuration we were going to use in the level shifting stage. See, remember, I'm not just going into depth. ఇది అసలు అయితే అవసరం లేదండి. కాకపోతే ఫస్ట్ యూనిట్లో కూడా లెవెల్ ట్రాన్స్లేటర్ అని ఉంది కాబట్టి నేను ఇందులో ఒక 2-3 సర్క్యూట్స్ తీసుకొని చెప్పాను. But this is not asked, but just for your awareness I was teaching you. Now let us come to the level shifting stage. So already we have discussed that effects due to there is a, because your op amp is directly coupled and there is no coupling elements between the different stages. We have already discussed that we have some DC components, isn't it? So what are the effects of DC components? Output gets distorted, it limits the maximum output voltage. So if you see the waveforms over here, two waveforms. So if your DC level is 0, obviously your output voltage, I mean, curve will be like this, isn't it? Yes, so these two are the saturation levels. But if there is a DC level, look at here where your waveform has started. It was not started at 0 potential. So somewhere this is a DC level. And moreover, I have already told you that it gets clipped. Your output gets clipped. So the clipping have been shown over here. Can you see? మనకి ఇట్లా రావాలండి, కానీ వేఫామ్ ఇలా వస్తుంది. ఇదే కదా క్లిప్పింగ్ అంటే. The other day somebody has told me, yes, అయ్యోండి అర్థం అవుతుందా నేను చెప్పేది? Are you following? Nobody is responding. Are you following? Right, okay. So this is the effect. This is how you get the waveform when there is the presence of DC component. So now your main aim is to get down this DC level to the 0 level. So I need to get waveform like this. So one of the simple circuit that we use for, I mean, reducing this DC level voltage is, look at the first circuit over there. If you want, you can take it down. So look at the first circuit. Right? So simple. It was simple emitter follower circuit over there, isn't it? So generally here how it reduces is, let us say, you can see there VB, right? So this VB is, you know, already we have done problems also. VB ante general ga silicon ki aithe 0.7 volts అని అనుకుంటామండి, అవునా? So excuse me. So similarly, let us say that I have VB over there that is about 0.7 ohms. So here my goal, this is a simple circuit which reduces that 0.7 ohms. So if you see from the figure, your output, along with your input voltage V in, okay, VB also will get added. So here this circuit, what it will do is, this is a very simple circuit. So far what it will do is, it just your output, you say, voltage from the circuit, if you do the analysis, actually apply అయ్యేటప్పుడు Vin plus VB apply అవుతుందండి. కానీ ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే VB reduce చేయాలి. So obviously, as this is an emitter follower, right? Whatever the voltage that you have at emitter, అదే కదండి output లో వచ్చేది, అవునా? So your emitter has been following whatever that you are getting from input. That is here V naught will be given by just simply V in minus VB. That means this is clear that whatever the voltage that was added over along with your input voltage from using by this circuit, a simple common collector or an emitter follower circuit, uh, your output have reduced this additional DC amount of voltage. ఇది DC voltage అండి. VB అనేది ఆల్రెడీ ప్రెసెంట్ అయి ఉంటుంది ట్రాన్సిస్టర్లో 0.7 volts, రైట్? ఇది ఇన్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్ మీరు అప్లై చేస్తున్న ఇన్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్. అవుట్పుట్కి వచ్చేటప్పటికి ఈ సర్క్యూట్కి వచ్చేటప్పటికి వి నాట్ విల్ బి ఈక్వల్స్ టు వి ఇన్ మైనస్ విబి. సో ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ ఈస్ వెరీ మచ్ క్లియర్ దట్ your output voltage have been eliminating this DC component from the input voltage when it is getting added. ఇక్కడ ఆల్రెడీ యాడ్ అయ్యే వస్తుంది, దీంతో పాటు డీసీ కాంపోనెంట్ యాడ్ అయ్యే వస్తుందండి. కానీ అవుట్పుట్ దగ్గరికి వచ్చేటప్పటికి ఫ్రమ్ ద సర్క్యూట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గివెన్ దట్ V in minus VBE. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ మచ్ క్లియర్ that your output is removing the presence of DC component to some extent. బట్ ఆల్వేస్ 0.7 volts ఉంటుందని ఏమి రూల్ లేదు, అది మాత్రమే ఉంటుంది అనే రూల్ లేదు. బేస్ ఎమిటర్ వోల్టేజ్ ఒక్కటే ఉంటుంది, ఆ డీసీ కాంపోనెంట్ ఒక్కటే ఉంటుంది అనే రూల్ ఏం లేదు కదండి. సో దాని గురించి ఏం చేసాం అంటే ఇదే పైన సర్క్యూట్ ని చిన్న మోడిఫికేషన్ చేసాం. So here I have added two resistances. Okay, so let us apply now. Let us find out what could be the output voltage from this circuit. Okay, so this is the circuit, improved version of the circuit for this, where furthermore ఒక 0.7 volts కాకుండా ఇంకేదైనా డీసీ కాంపోనెంట్ ఉన్నా రిమూవ్ చేయడానికి దీనికి ఇది ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ అన్నమాట. So additionally I have used another resistor over here. Here I have only one resistor, so I have used two resistances here. Now for this here I have applied KVL. If I apply KVL, I'll be getting V in minus VBE minus I into R1 plus R2 equals to 0. If I apply KVL to this loop, what I'm going to get? V in minus VBE minus I into R1 plus R2 equals to 0, isn't it? So from this expression I have derived I equals to V in minus VBE by R1 plus R2, right? This is I. And generally from the circuit V naught is given by I into R2. So I have substituted V naught equals to whatever the value that I got for I, V in minus VB by R1 plus R2 into R2. So this is saying you that it is reducing the DC voltage V in minus VB into R2 by R1 plus R2 ante అర్థం ఏంటండి? If R2 is decreased by choosing the proper values of depending upon values of R1, R2 and R1 and R2, obviously it will reduce the DC component. So particularly if your R2 is less, your DC level shift will get improved and it will increase the gain. But there is also one disadvantage that ఒక్కొక్కసారి డీసీ కాంపోనెంట్ తో పాటు ఏసీ కాంపోనెంట్ కూడా అటెన్యూయేట్ అయిపోతుందండి బై ద ఫ్యాక్టర్ R2 by R1 plus R2. So that is a disadvantage of this. Other than that, it furthermore reduces the DC level and it will improve the AC output gain when you decrease the value of R2. Okay, depending upon your values of R1, R2, the value of V out depends, which will further reduce the DC level to the ground level. Okay, so only disadvantage regarding this circuit is sometimes your AC original signal also gets ఇక్కడ మామూలుగా డీసీ సిగ్నల్ అటెన్యూయేట్ చేస్తుందండి. ఒక్కొక్కసారి ఏంటంటే ఏసీ సిగ్నల్ కూడా కొద్దిగా అటెన్యూయేట్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. సో దట్ వాస్ ద డిసడ్వాంటేజ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ సర్క్యూట్. సో జస్ట్ గో త్రూ దిస్, టేక్ డౌన్ ద ఫిగర్. ఇది జస్ట్ అంటే అవసరం లేదు, బట్ చూడాలనుకుంటే చూడండి ఒకసారి. Okay. So there is one more circuit, another improved version of circuit which will provide a constant current source. So is this over? Have you looked after it? ఇది ఊరికే మీకు తెలియడం కోసం అని చెప్తానండి, యాక్చువల్గా చెప్పాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఇదేమి ఇట్స్ నాట్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద సిలబస్ అండ్ యూ నెవర్ ఆస్క్డ్, జస్ట్ ఒకసారి మీకు ఐడియా ఉంటుందని చెప్పేసి చెప్తున్నా. Right, this is another improved version of the circuit here. So this will be another improved version, so it will provide with the constant current source. Okay, so this will be also constant current bias is provided with the help of this Q2 transistor, and output has been taken over here. So generally V0 is written from the figure. So this circuit is providing you the constant current source, acting as a constant current source or providing the constant current bias, right? And output voltage will be V0, V minus VB minus I1 R1. Nothing much to say about this circuit. So this is another improved version of level shifting stage. Of course, common collector ne koncham modify chestunte veltadu. Okay, so hopefully there is no need of taking, just have a glance at it. Now this is what about level shifting stage. Coming to the last stage, output stage. So generally what we were saying about the last stage, what are the requirements of good output stage? First thing, it should have large output swing capability, large output current swing capability, low output impedance, low, it should have the short circuit protection, high output, right? High output gain or whatever it might be. So all these are the main requirements. Particularly, it should have large output voltage swing, large output current swing capability, and low output impedance. Okay, it should provide the short circuit protection. So all these requirements are reached by push-pull amplifier, generally class AB push-pull amplifier and antam. So you can see the circuit diagram over here regarding the complementary push-pull amplifier. So one is of NPN type and the other is of PNP type. So if this is your input waveform, so for the positive half cycle, your Q1 will be on and Q2 will be off, isn't it? This is the output voltage waveform. So your Q1 is on here and Q2 is off. And for the negative half cycle, here Q1 will be off and Q2 will be on. So this is how your output voltage will be produced along with all the requirements that you need. Is this the operation? Meeku telusu kadandi already. Yes? Telusa? పుష్పుల్ యాంప్లిఫైర్ ఆపరేషన్ తెలుసా అండి? మాట్లాడలేదు ఏంటండి, పడుకున్నారా మధ్యాహ్నం శుభ్రం తినేసి? హలో, ఎనీబడి దే or shall I just stop the class? Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
ఏంటండి నాకే గొంతు నొప్పిగా ఉండి నీరసంగా ఉందంటే మీరు అంతకంటే నీరసంగా చెప్తున్నారు. Right, anyways, okay. So this is the operation of your push-pull amplifier, which you already know. Of course, చిన్న crossover distortion ఉంటుందండి. తెలుసా crossover distortion అంటే ఏంటో? తెలుసా అండి crossover distortion అంటే ఏంటో? తెలుసా? You know what is meant by crossover distortion? Yeah. So generally what is meant by crossover distortion is your transistors immediately doesn't trigger at 0 volts or 0.1 volts. They will be triggered only when you reach the signal to 0.7 ohms. Until and unless they don't trigger. That's why generally అయితే ఇక్కడ వేవ్ ఫామ్ ఇలా ఉంది. క్రాస్ఓవర్ డిస్టార్షన్ అంటే ఏంటంటే వేవ్ ఫామ్ ఇట్లా వచ్చి కొంత టైం పీరియడ్ 0 ఉండి తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఇలా వస్తుంది. అది crossover distortion అంటే. So of course again some improvement circuits will be used to reduce that crossover distortion anyways. But anyways, This is the circuit which we use in the output stage. So by this, we came to know about all the stages briefly, whatever that were present in the op amp. Okay, now we'll be entering into the important topic, right? Characteristics and performance parameters of op amp. So remember, characteristics and performance parameters of op amp are very, very, very important. ఇది రెండు రకాలుగా అడుగుతాడు. ఒక్కొక్కసారి అన్ని క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్స్ ఏంటో స్పెసిఫై చేసి వాటి డెఫినేషన్ అడుగుతాడు. ఒక్కొక్కసారి ఒక ఐదింటి గురించి రాయమంటాడు. ఒక్కొక్కసారి ఏంటంటే మెజర్మెంట్ కూడా ఉంటుందండి. ముందు మనం అసలు ఆ క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ పారామీటర్ అంటే ఏంటనేది నేర్చుకుంటాము. తర్వాత వచ్చేసి హౌ టు మెజర్ దోస్ పారామీటర్స్ అనేది నేర్చుకుంటాం. సో రెండు ఇంపార్టెంట్, బోత్ మెజర్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ పారామీటర్స్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ characteristics and performance parameters of op amp, both are important. So listen carefully. Okay, so now shall we start guys? I'm starting now, right? So characteristic and performance parameters of op amp. So among them, the first parameter is input offset voltage. Now let us see what is this input offset voltage, right? So already previously I have told you. Now I'll just repeat it once again. So ideally, right? Ideally, when there is no input given to the input terminals of your op amp, that means if your input terminals are grounded, obviously and generally the output voltage should be 0, isn't it? But we can't see 0. A small amount of, that is non-zero output voltage will appear at the output of op amp. అది అంటే వోల్ట్స్లో ఉండదు, సమ్ మిల్లీ వోల్ట్స్ అండ్ మైక్రో వోల్ట్స్లోనే ఉంటుంది, కానీ దేర్ ఈస్ సమ్ స్మాల్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ వోల్టేజ్. ఏది ఎప్పుడు, even though I don't give any input to the input terminals of op amp, even though your both input terminals are grounded, అంటే జీరో ఇన్పుట్ ఇచ్చిన ఐడియల్ కేస్ అయితే జీరో అవుట్పుట్ ఉండాలి, but there will be some existence of some non-zero output voltage, right? So why this non-zero, why this small amount of voltage have been occurring even though you are not applying input voltage? This is generally because of mismatching between different devices. Differential amplifier తీసుకుంటే always we were saying that the two transistors should have matched characteristics, but practically it is not possible. There will be some sort of a little bit of deviation will be there. No two devices will be ideally completely 100% matched. 0.001% అయినా mismatch ఉంటుంది. So that's why, because of mismatching present in the internal circuit, in the op amp, there will be some error voltage will be appearing at the output, right? So that means even though you are not applying any input, there is existence some output. So in order to adi undakodadu kabatti, we need to nullify that output voltage. So for that purpose, we will be just applying a small amount of some difference voltage between your input terminals. As I have told you, input voltage ఏమిటి అని అంటే మీకు చెప్పాను. ఆప్ యాంప్లో 8 టర్మినల్స్లో ఫస్ట్ టర్మినల్, ఫిఫ్త్ టర్మినల్లో ఆఫ్సెట్ నల్ అని చెప్తున్నాను కదండి. జస్ట్ రీకలెక్ట్ ఇట్. సో అప్లయింగ్ స్మాల్ డిఫరెన్స్ voltage is nothing but we'll be just connecting the potentiometer across these two terminals, and you will be adjusting until and unless ఆయన నాబ్, పొటెన్షియోమీటర్ నాబ్ అడ్జస్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు, until and unless your output becomes 0. సో దానికి అక్రాస్గా మీరు ఆ పొటెన్షియోమీటర్కి అక్రాస్గా మీరు మల్టీమీటర్ పెట్టి వోల్టేజ్ మెజర్ చేస్తే ఆ వోల్టేజే నాకు ఇన్పుట్ ఆఫ్సెట్ వోల్టేజ్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో నౌ హౌ కెన్ ఐ డిఫైన్ ద ఇన్పుట్ ఆఫ్సెట్ వోల్టేజ్? So input offset voltage is defined as the differential voltage that must be applied between two input terminals of op amp to make output voltage 0. So output voltage nullify చేయడం కోసం అప్లై చేసే వోల్టేజ్ డిఫరెన్స్ వోల్టేజ్ బిట్వీన్ టూ ఇన్పుట్ టెర్మినల్స్. అంటే అది ఎలా అప్లై చేస్తారు? అప్లై చేయడం అంటే ఏం లేదండి, పొటెన్షియోమీటర్ పెడతారు, పొటెన్షియోమీటర్ పైన నాబ్ ఉంటుంది కదా, దాన్ని ఆ నాబ్ ని అడ్జస్ట్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్తారు అవుట్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్ 0 వచ్చేంత వరకు. ఆ 0 వచ్చిన తర్వాత మల్టీమీటర్ తీసుకోండి, సో అక్రాస్ పొటెన్షియోమీటర్ పెడితే అక్కడ ఎంత వోల్టేజ్ అయితే వచ్చిందో ఆ వోల్టేజ్ మనకి ఇన్పుట్ ఆఫ్సెట్ వోల్టేజ్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. సో ఐ కెన్ డిఫైన్ ఇన్పుట్ ఆఫ్సెట్ వోల్టేజ్ యాజ్ the differential voltage that must be applied between two input terminals of op-amp to make output voltage 0 is called input offset voltage. So generally that is given as VIOS. I'm sorry. So here if you see, VIOS is equal to VDC1 minus magnitude of VDC1 minus VDC2. This is how we express the input offset voltage. Is this clear, everybody? I just want the response. There is some existence of non-zero output voltage because of mismatching in the circuit, even though you don't apply any input voltage. So we need to nullify that output voltage. For that purpose, we are applying a small amount of voltage between the two input terminals. So that voltage is nothing but your input offset voltage. Is this clear? Okay. నేను రేపు పొద్దున్న మళ్ళీ క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతాను, మీరు చెప్పాను వరకు నెక్స్ట్ వాటికి వెళ్ళను. Right. So this is about input offset voltage. Generally, ideally, its value should be 0. Practically, it is about 6 millivolts ఉంటుందండి. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, ఇవన్నీ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ బేసిక్స్ ఇవి. మీకు ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళినా సరే ఇక్కడి నుంచే మొదలు పెడతాడు. ఎల్ఐసి అన్న ఆప్ యాంప్ అన్న మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడి నుంచే మొదలవుతుంది మీకు అంతా. ఆల్ దీస్ ఆర్ బేసిక్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ ఫ్రీక్వెంట్లీ ఆస్క్డ్ క్వశ్చన్స్. ఈ బేసిక్స్ మీరు గట్టిగా లేకపోతే రేపు పొద్దున్న ఏం చదువుకున్నారు మీరు అని అంటారు. So listen carefully. I repeat once again input offset voltage. So input offset voltage is nothing but there will be some amount of output voltage, some small amount of output voltage because of mismatching in the internal circuits of op-amp, even though you don't apply any input voltage. So in order to nullify that output voltage, we will be applying some differential voltage between across the two input terminals, right? So that voltage is nothing but your input offset voltage. So ideally input offset voltage is 0, should be 0, but practically it is about 6 milliamps. ఈ స్పెసిఫికేషన్స్ అన్ని ఐసీ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరర్ ఇచ్చేస్తాడేమో, ఎందుకంటే ఐసీ ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు వాటి స్పెసిఫికేషన్స్ ఇవ్వాలి. సో ప్రతి పారామీటర్ వాల్యూ ఎలా ఉందనేది ఇస్తాడు. ఆ వాల్యూస్ మనం చూసుకుంటాం, ఎంత ఏది ఎక్కువ ఉండాలి ఏది తక్కువ ఉండాలని చూసుకుని దాన్ని బట్టి చూస్ చేసుకుంటాం ఐసీని, రైట్? సో as so far input offset voltage ideally it will be having 0 volts, practically it will be having 6 millivolts. So this is about input offset voltage. And coming to the next parameter, input offset current. So what is this input offset current? So generally excuse me. So already I have told you that there is no input means nothing should be there, output also should be 0. Similarly, generally the input terminals of op-amp will be formed by differential amplifier. అవునండి, రెండు ట్రాన్సిస్టర్స్ నుంచి వస్తాయి కదా ఇన్పుట్ టెర్మినల్స్. డిఫరెన్షియల్ యాంప్లిఫైర్ లో ఉన్న రెండు ట్రాన్సిస్టర్స్ నుంచి అంటే రెండు ట్రాన్సిస్టర్స్ యొక్క బేసిస్ ఇన్పుట్ టెర్మినల్స్ కింద ఫామ్ అవుతాయి, అవునా కాదా? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ఎస్. Right? Okay. Right. So the input terminals of op amp are nothing but base terminals of two transistors which were in the input stage. They are nothing but two base terminals of the transistors of differential amplifier, right? So ideally here also, um actually the two transistors should be matched, perfectly matched, and the two base currents that were flowing into these two transistors also should be equal. రెండు మ్యాచ్ అవుతున్నాయంటే బేస్ కరెంట్స్ కూడా మ్యాచ్ అయ్యి ఉండాలండి. అంటే లెటెస్ సే IB1 ట్రాన్సిస్టర్ Q1 యొక్క బేస్ కరెంట్ అయితే IB2 ట్రాన్సిస్టర్ Q2 యొక్క బేస్ కరెంట్ అయితే రెండు ఈక్వల్ అవ్వాలి. అంటే IB1 మైనస్ IB2 చేస్తే నాకు జీరో రావాలండి, right? But as I have told you, ideally perfectly matched, perfect the base currents should be equal and cheptam. But practically it's not possible. As I have told you, at least there will be 0.001% of deviation from one another. So because of the small deviation, again your base currents may not be equal, right? Your base currents may not be equal. So that difference in your base currents, whatever is there, is nothing but your input offset current. So I can define the input offset current as the algebraic difference between currents flowing into two input terminals of op amp is called input offset current, which was represented by IIOS, which is equal to difference between two base currents. సో ఐడియల్గా అయితే ఈ రెండు ఈక్వల్ ఉండాలి కాబట్టి ఇది జీరో అవుతుందండి. కానీ ఈ రెండు ఈక్వల్గా ఉండట్లేదు, కొంత డీవియేషన్ ఉంది, రెండు డిఫరెంట్ వాల్యూస్ ఉంటాయి అని చెప్తున్నాం. సో అందుకనే generally practically I'll be having input offset voltage as 200 nano amps. So ideally should be zero. Zero అంటే రెండు కరెంట్స్ ఈక్వల్, రెండు కరెంట్స్ ఈక్వల్ అంటే రెండు ట్రాన్సిస్టర్స్ పర్ఫెక్ట్లీ మ్యాచ్డ్ అని అర్థం. But practically it is not possible to match any two devices, right? So that's why there is deviation between these two currents. So that deviation is nothing but difference. So that difference is nothing but your input offset current. So ideal value is 0 and practical value is 200 nano amps. So this is about input offset current. Is that clear? Shall we go to the next parameter? Yes. Okay. Now let us go to the next parameter. So the next parameter is input bias current. So input bias current is nothing but it's an extension for offset current. Offset current వచ్చేసి difference between two base currents అండి. Input bias current ఏమో average of two base currents. So the average value of two base currents flowing into op amp input terminals is called input bias current. So which is given as IB equals to IB1 plus IB2 by 200. Okay. So this is the base current, which is defined as nothing but average of the two base currents that were flowing into the input terminals of op amp. So that was defined as input bias current. So again here practically it should be zero. I mean ideally it should be zero, but practically here we'll be having 500 nano amps. Okay, right? So this is about input bias current. So we'll stop